Hello and welcome to the 2003 SAM Projects video for PowerPoint number 4. I'm going to go to the SAM website and log in to my student account here. Activity list view, PowerPoint number 4 project, 5 attempts. We will have instruction files, which I will open up. Click the enable editing on the alert across the top here. We can see that in brief what we're doing is adding graphics and animations to a presentation. This file is np blah blah t2, np PowerPoint 2013 t2, and 3 support files. So let's go back to the website and get those. Here's the start file. I'll open the start file, do a enable editing. We can see again that the document is pretty plain at this point. It's got data in it, but pretty plain. We'll be modifying that. Do a save as. Computer desktops, where I like to save my files, _2. And then I'm going to go back to the website and get the support files as well. And for these support files, I will do a save as and save it onto my desktop. So there's a save as support marketing solutions. Save as on the desktop support water border. And save as on the desktop support surfing. So I have my 3 support files now saved and ready to go. The credits, again, is just a Word document that explains who did the photography, giving appropriate credits for the intellectual property of that work. Step 1, let me go back real quick. I should also make sure that on slide 1 it says this file created for your name, so you can check that on slide 1, as well as your name being in the file name at the top here, np PowerPoint 2013 t2p1a, and then your name _2. Okay, so with those things in place, let's work through this project together. Step 1, apply a custom theme to all slides in the presentation. Now, this isn't one of the built-in themes, this is a custom theme. And they tell us to go to the themes group in the design tab like you would do a normal theme, but here we want to go down to browse for themes and use the support file that we just downloaded called marketing solutions with a POTX PowerPoint template format. So let's do that. Let's go back here, and where we normally would say design and we would pick a theme here, pre-built themes, we want to click on the drop down arrow and say browse for themes, and on browse for themes I can find on my desktop the support np p13 t2p1a marketing solution. So the support marketing solutions, and that is a PowerPoint template. I select that and it applies this pre-built theme to all of my slides. That's kind of cool. Step 2, apply the cube transition to all the slides in the presentation. So I want to select all the slides in the presentation. I will do that by selecting the first slide and then scrolling down to the last slide and holding the shift key and selecting that one as well. Alternatively, you can hold the control key and select them one at a time, but the shift key will give you a group everything from the start to the end of the range. And I want to do a transition. I want to do the cube transition. So in the transitions tab, pull up the show all, and the cube is down here in the middle of the screen under the exciting group. Now they're not alphabetical, so sometimes it's hard to find these, but if you look, you'll see the cube there. And then that's what our cube effect looks like. And we can kind of see what this looks like if you want to know. Move it around like a box here. So that's kind of cool. And that's been applied to all of these themes because they were all selected when we did that. On slide 2, identify your customers without using the content placeholder, insert a picture. Now in some of the previous projects we've insert pictures to our presentation, but we had the content placeholder for doing that. Now we need to insert the wake border picture without the content placeholder on slide 2, identify your customers. The way we do this, since we can't use the content placeholders, we have to go up to the ribbon. On the insert tab of the ribbon, there is an images group that has 4 options there. The left one is pictures, the right one is online pictures. Since we're getting it from our local machine, we use the pictures option. I save it on my desktop. Wake border is here on my desktop. Double click that and the wake border is added. Now it tells us move the picture so that move it to the right, sorry, so the left edge is at the 1 inch mark in the horizontal ruler and the top edge is at the 1.5 mark on the vertical ruler. Well, I don't see any rulers on mine. If your rulers aren't visible as well, you can go under View and check the ruler option, and that will make the little rulers appear. 0, 0 is the center of your slide, so you're talking about how far you're moving off to the right, to the left, up and down from the center. And they want us to move this image we just added so that the left edge is in the lines up with the 1. It's kind of hard to see there. I have to estimate it. But I'm looking at this 1 right here, and it looks like that's lined up pretty good with my left edge. And I want the top of this image to be at 1.5. So there's 1.5, and I scroll over, and that looks about right. I could maybe make it. Oh, here's the way I can do it. Put my cursor over it. I can be even more accurate there. So as I'm grabbing it, I see I've got the little feedback on the line here. Yeah, so I can see that I'm pretty close there to what I'm wanting to do there. It's not exact, but it's very, very close. Because when I hover the cursor over, it shows me where where it's supposed to be at. Okay, but I don't want to resize it. I want to be careful not to resize it. Control, do an undo there. I just want to move it so that I get it there. But that looks about right. On slide 2, flip the picture on the left horizontally so that the boy waving is waving with his left hand. So here I'm still on slide 2. Right now the boy's holding the rope with his left hand and he's waving with his right hand. I want to flip it horizontally. By the way, I don't want this ribbon showing anymore, so I'm going to go under View and I'm going to unturn the ribbon, the ruler showing anymore. So I'm going to go back to the View tab in the ribbon and uncheck the ruler so that my screen's filling with the slides. I don't really care about those that ruler information at this point. Now, the step says to flip this horizontally so he's waving with his left hand. Clicking on the image in the Context Picture Tools Format tab, clicking there, one of the options in the Arrange group near the right is Rotate. And if I select Rotate, there is a Flip Horizontally, and I select Flip Horizontally, and now the boy is moving, everything's flipped. It looks like he's moving the other direction, holding with his right hand and waving with his left hand. Apply, now that we've flipped it, we're supposed to apply the picture effect, tight reflection touching to the picture on the left, and a picture style, reflected rounded rectangle, to the picture on the right. Okay, so a picture effect to the left. So here's the left one, and I want to do a picture effect, and here's picture effects. Again, in the context menu, here's picture effects. And the picture effect we're told to do is the reflection, and I think it's this first reflection, it is tight reflection touching. So picture effect reflection, tight reflection touching. And I can see, in fact, that there is a reflection. It is touching. It is tight to the image. And that's what that looks like. On the second one, the picture on the right, we're supposed to apply the picture style, reflected rounded rectangle. So here's the picture on the right. In the context sensitive menu, I want to do picture rounded rectangle, which I think is this fifth option here in the styles group, and it is reflected rounded rectangle is right there. So I apply that to the option, the figure on the right. Step number 5. Still on slide 2, change the shape fill for the rectangular shape to be turquoise accent 1, 5th column top row in the theme palette. And then change the shape outline to be background 1, which is gray 80%. Okay, so first we're changing, so let's select the rectangle here, the rectangle shape, and apply a turquoise accent 1 as the shape fill. So for this shape, the shape fill is here, and I want to apply turquoise accent 1. And that's this one. We currently have selected turquoise accent 1 with a lighter 80%. We want just turquoise accent 1, which is at the very top here. 5th column, top row. Then change the shape to be gray 80%, comma, background 1. That is to say the background 1 theme, which for the current theme is gray 80%. So the background is, am I doing that right? Change the shape outline, sorry, the shape outline. So the shape outline is supposed to be this first option, which is background 1, which happens to be gray 80%. Change the shape outline to be 4.5 point. Shape outline thickness or weight, 4.5 point. On slide 3, which has the title, compare your lessons with the competition. Apply the table style medium 2, accent 1. So on slide 3, compare your lessons with the competition. There is a table here. And when I click on the table, I have two contexts menus, design and layout, and I want to go into the design area, and I want to select the design medium style 2, accent 1. And if I pull these down, I can see there's some lights and here's some mediums. And this is style 1, style 2, style 3. And I want to do style 2, accent 1, go over 1. I get style 2, accent 1, which is right there. Step number 7. On slide 4, compare your rates with the competition. Use the content placeholder to insert table 4, a table with 4 columns and 3 rows, and the data shown below. So Willys, Water Sports, Aqua Sports, Lake Alta Ski School, their half-hour and full-hour rates. So let's do this on slide 4. Compare your rates with the competition. We want to insert a table, and I can use the helper here for insert table, and I want the table to have 4 columns and 3 rows according to our directions. So I say OK. I don't need another table, so I'm going to cancel and just keep that first table that I inserted. And I want to get this information typed in here. Notice there's nothing in row 1, column 1, so I'll leave that blank and then go over to Willys, Water Sports, Aqua Sports, and Lake Alta Ski School and type those in here. Willys, Water Sports, I think it's capitalized that way. I'm not worrying about wrapping text. I'm just getting the text typed in. Okay, so those are the 3 titles there, and then half-hour rates with 60, 65, and 70. So half-hour rates of $1.60, tab $1.65, tab $1.70. And then, whoops, I did a carriage return there. I didn't mean to do a tab. And then full-hour rates are 100. 110 and 120. 100, 110, 120, 60, 65, 70. Okay, half hour, full hour, and I've typed those in correctly, yes. On slide 5, promote your instructors. In the area to the right of the bulleted list, insert a 12-point star shape. Okay, so let's go to slide 5. Promote your instructors. On the area to the right of the text over here, I want to insert a shape, a 12-point star shape. So we go under the Insert tab, and under the Insert tab, there is an area here called Shapes. If I look at all my shapes, we see quite a few shapes to choose from. I'm doing a 12-point star, and near the bottom there is something called Stars and Banners. And we have a list of different kinds of stars, Explosion 1, Explosion 2, and so on. But some of these stars over here have 8, 10, and 12 and numbers on them, and that's how many points are on the stars. So this one with the 12 is called a 12-point star. So I select 12-point star, and I can come over here and draw the star whatever size and shape I want. It tells us to make it 3.5 high by 3.5 wide. So I'll do this using the tool 3.5 tall by 3.5 wide. And to use the text certification as the text inside the shape. So select the shape and right-click and say Edit Text. Certification as my text for that shape. On slide 5, apply the shape style Intense Effect Turquoise, accent 1. This is in the second column, down 6 in the shape style. So for this shape, here's our shape styles. and it's the second column down 6 according to our instructions. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. So this is what they're saying it is. Intense effect, turquoise accent 1. Yes, that's what we're looking for. Step number 10. Still on slide 5, apply the entrance animation appear to the bulleted list using the default start on click. So here's our bulleted list. And for these items, I want to use the animation style appear, and I'm using the default. What did that say? Oops. Using the default start on click. So these are all selected, and on click is what's selected for those. Okay, so that's good. That's what we wanted to see there. On slide 5, still on slide 5, add the entrance animation shape to the 12-point star shape. So another animation, and change the direction of that animation, the shape animation, to be out. So here's our certification. I'm going to add another animation called shape, and shape is not on my short list, so I have to click on the show all and find shape on the larger list, and there it is. It's in the entrance group, they tell us, and there's shape in the entrance group. And I see it, and that's the default from outside in. I'm going to change the effect to be so that it moves out from the inside out. And that's the change the direction to be the out direction. Format the animation so that it starts after previous. Now, for me to do this, for me to make this start after previous, I can do this right here. After previous. Now I'm going to make sure I've got this right. I'm going to do this something called the animation pane. I'm going to click on this animation pane, and what I should see are each of these, the training, the experience, and the awards, the bullets there, all have their options. They all have their animations on it, and then 12-point star is here. And by clicking on the little drop down to the right in the animation pane, I can see that it does have after previous. So all that looks good. We'll hide that pane now, but I could see that as I was checking. On slide 6, post videos on your website. Use the content placeholder to insert a video, support NP13, NP-P13, T2, P1A, surfing.mp4. So we're going to insert a video using the content placeholder on slide 6. So our last slide here, the content placeholder, and I think our last option of those 6 is insert video. So I'm going to click on that and browse to my machine. On the file on my machine, on my desktop, there it is. And that video has been added to my PowerPoint presentation. It tells us to trim the video so that it ends at the 7-second mark. So I've got my video here, and I want to trim it. And that is done here in the playback option. There is a trim video button. I pull it up, and I get to specify where I want my video to start. I'm not changing the start time, and where I want my video to end. I want it to end at the 7-second time. Now I can try to do that by hand, but I'll just type it in specific 7.00. Okay. On slide 6, create a poster frame from approximately the 5.2 second mark, so that when I'm looking at this, when it's not playing, the poster frame, where do I want it to be as it looks, right about the 5.2 mark. Right, that's pretty close, 5.19, 5.22, right about there. I want this to be what people see when the slide is being looked at and the video is not playing. So that's called the poster. And I do that by going into the context tools, the format, and poster frame. I just select the poster frame from the current frame. So I'm letting that frame be what you see while you wait for the video to play. On slide 6, format the video to play full screen and to rewind after playing. So that's back in the playback group. Select play full screen and select rewind after playing. Still on slide 6, apply the transition Vortex only to slide 6. So we're going to go to slide 6 here. It's the only slide selected. We're going to do a transition option, and we're going to select a vortex option. And that vortex option is kind of a snowstorm effect, kind of a cool snowstorm effect. And we're going to change the duration to be only 2 seconds instead of the default 4 seconds. And we're going to change the effect to be from the bottom. So let's make those two changes to this. We'll change the duration to be 2 instead of 4. And I'm going to change the effect to be from the bottom. Now, as it goes through this, you'll notice that's only a 2-second transition and it's done, so it's a little faster than it was before. Well, it still was 4 seconds. 2 seconds. Try that again. Okay, so that was a little faster there. That was a 2-second version of that transition. I'm not sure why I didn't hit save before or what, but it didn't. I want to make sure that's 2 seconds from bottom. Insert a footer with the text Real World Marketing Solutions. And this is the not the instructor's note, but the actual footer that appears on the bottom of the slides. I also want the date and time and the slide number. So this is in the view, the insert, headers and footers. I want to have the footer text that says Real World Marketing Solutions. I want to have a date and time. And I want to have the slide number appearing on all the slides except the title slide, it says. So I'm going to have do not show to the title slide and apply to all. And if you'll look, each slide has that information across the bottom. Real World Marketing Solutions, date, and slide number, except the title slide, which does not have it. Step 17, our last step. Check the spelling in the presentation to identify and correct any spelling errors. You should find at least one spelling error. So let's go through here and do this. This is in the review, spelling. Let's go through and check. Recognitions is misspelled. I do like this one. I want to change it to the correct spelling and get the notification that the spell check is complete. Good to go. I can verify that my presentation should look kind of like this presentation. Now let's do my presentation and see how it looks. And they do look a little bit similar. So everything looks pretty good there. So I'm going to save my presentation, exit, and then go back to the website, upload my work in P2, which is right here. Submit for a grade. Takes just a little bit for the 3 green check marks to go through as it uploads and verifies the size, file format, and virus scan. Then I go into my reports and look at my PowerPoint. Scroll down, PowerPoint 4, there it is. Let's look at our grades. Our grade on this project was 94 out of 100. So again, we missed something simple. Go through, I can see the only thing that got marked wrong here was on slide 5, the bulleted list should use the appear animation and start on click. Okay, on slide 5, apply the entrance animation. So let's go back to step 10 is completely wrong here. So I got 0 out of 6 on step 10. Didn't get any credit for this one. Did step 10 completely wrong. So let's go back here real quick and fix this. So step 10 is a step that I missed. And let me pull up my project. Get this window back resized here. And redo step 10 here. So step 10 on slide 5. So let me see what I did wrong here on slide 5. Apply the entrance animation appear to the bulleted list. Animation appear to the bulleted list using the default on click. Appear on click. Okay. It didn't have the on click there. I'm not exactly sure what was going on there, but so I've got 1, 2, 3. Okay. I think they may have all been appearing at 1 click there. Again, animation pane, 1, 2, 3. And then after previous. Okay, that's going to be better. So let's, again, submit this. Activity list, PowerPoint 4. Still have 4 attempts left. NPT2 is right there. Submit. And we should be good to go this time. Scroll down. There's my PowerPoint 4. Bottom slide score is 100 out of 100. Okay. I'm not sure what I did wrong that first time, but we got it right by trying again. That's why we have 5 submits. All right, thank you. Have a good day.